Yo guys, welcome back to Stock Talk Insider. Today I want to talk about my portfolio and where I'm heading with it. And of course, why I sold Palantir and why I bought Grab. And in overall, just to explain where I want to go further with my positions. And I also want to talk about one little thing right before we start with all of that. So 3 weeks ago, I uploaded a video about SoFi earnings. But as you can see, my total profit of the whole portfolio was around 12,000 euros. And that was with 2 days red. And today we are with 2 days red at 16,000. So that's the difference of just keeping your money working, because my low got higher than 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks ago, it was my low was at 12,000 after 2 days of red, and today, after 2 days of red, my low is actually around 16,000, which is a nice improvement of around 4,000 euros. So yeah, that's nice to see, and yeah, that's why I also like the videos, because I just can look back at 3 weeks ago, and if we go down to those levels, we are just back at where we were 3 weeks ago. And if you're a long-term investor, 3 weeks is nothing if you invest for 10 years. So yeah, that's what I just wanted to say to you guys. On not even a month time, we got an improvement of 4,000 euros in total profit when we have 2 days of red after well, yeah, I can't get on the word, but you get what I mean. So yeah, that's what I just wanted to say first. Then Palantir, I did sell Palantir today. I sold it at around, I think, if I go to transactions, Palantir, I sold it at almost $107, which made me a nice 10,690 euros back. Of course, that's not a profit, but if you look at what we made of profit, it was around 11,000. I just can't see where it is right now. I have to look, but it was around 11,000 euros of total profit with Palantir. I have realized those gains now, but I sold it because the valuation was just way too much up there, and also they were just shy of 3 billion of revenue a year, but they were valued at 300 billion as a company on the market. So that's too much in my opinion, and that's not getting into my logic reasons why I own the stock. When I bought at 40, there was a lot of room to go to 60 and 70, and even then people thought that it was too high of a valuation, and at this point it's just too much up there. It was at 300 billion in total in total valuation, and that's too much. So I also saw the headlines yesterday. I thought that would take it down a lot, and at this time it's probably even down. Well, it's now just gotten back up to around $100, but in 2 days it's down 20%. So the reasons that got hit down yesterday were because of the 8% less spending by government in the regions that they said they would spend less, what they mentioned, of course. And then we also have Alex Carp that sold around that will be selling 1.2 billion worth of stock in now until September. And that were the two reasons why the stock got down. And I don't think that is a reason why a stock can go down 20%. It may go down around 2 to 4% maybe, but 20% is just too much volatility, and that's just finding a reason to get it down and to go down. So if it's that volatile, that just proves the point that it's too much up there and the valuation is too much. So I got out. If one of the two things happens, that Palantir will go to $70, I will be buying back. Or if Palantir grows into its valuation that it's at, then I will also be buying more of Palantir. But of course, it can just go higher and higher with its stock price if that happens. But for now, if the valuation is just out of the world, I will not be buying. And I don't want to own a stock like that. But the company itself, I really, really believe a lot in it. But a stock of the company is not the company. So that's what I mean. I believe in the company, but if the stock is just too much up there in terms of what the company is giving you back in revenue each year, well, yeah, then it's too much for me and I'm out. I actually already wanted to leave the stock when it hit at 90. I waited because I knew it would go even higher. And at that point, it would just go until the levels where analysts expected it around $120. It hit that mark and even got past it with $5 to $125. But I sold eventually when it was going down around between $110 and $115, which in my valuta is around 107 euros. So total profit today is 16,134 euros on my total portfolio. If you look back again on 3 weeks ago, my stock portfolio actually got a total profit of 12,200 euros, and now we have 16,114 with actually 900 euros down today, and yesterday we were also down around 1,000 euros. So what I also want to say is that yesterday we hit it all-time high all around total profit on the account on the portfolio of 18,500 euros. We almost hit it that 20,000 mark, which will be getting there in the coming months probably, unless something happens, of course. But then again, we just buy back and we still will be able to reach it in time. But that's one of the big reasons you invest. You just want to make profit, but one of the big things you have to keep in mind to make this reason happen is take time and be patient. Be patient is maybe one of the biggest words you can use in the stock market to make money. So yeah, I also know, and I also have the intention to probably buy back some Palantir when it hits around 70, like I said before. But for now, again, that's also another thing in the market. When the valuation is getting too much up there, I am selling. And that, well, stock market is logical. Crypto is not logical, but that's also why I don't like crypto, because I like some logical reasons behind it. And if the valuation is not in line with what the company is doing, then I don't really want the stock, because that's too much stress for me. And I think that if you do it like that, there are just too much other positions you can make in other stocks that will make you some nice profits. For now, I do believe in Palantir, but also still for the long term, it will hit more than 125. But for now, in the coming year and 2 years, if it keeps that valuation, it will just stay there, or there will be a big crash. So actually, it is good that Palantir got back to that 100. Well, of course, I just like it if it goes even lower, but at this time, 100 is still too much for me. So yeah, I got out. Then we have SoFi. I also believe that SoFi will do great in the back of 2025. The CEO mentioned and made clear that they are not a bank, but they have a bank. And they made some extra guidance a little bit clearer, but they do need to improve their guidance on their earnings calls if they want the stock to go up a little bit more. But yeah, of course, it's just a stock. I think it will pop at some time in the future, but I am very long and bullish on the stock. I am not selling in the coming years. I just keep it. Then we have Tesla. Of course, I want to make a separate video about Tesla, but that will be something for the coming weeks. I just believe too much in their FSD. FSD will be starting also with robotaxis from starting in June. That's a big title if you hear that. So yeah, I also believe a lot in Tesla's Optimus, and their energy business is actually 10% of their total revenue, which is also a big thing that you see that they are expanding their product lines in revenue, because the EV products will not only be the only thing. So the cars will not be the only thing, and probably will in the future of in 10-15 years maybe even be one of the smallest products they have. And for now, I just believe in Tesla for the coming 10 to 15 years. It's just a very great company, and Elon Musk is very good setup with his relationship with Trump, of course. I have seen an interview of Trump and Elon, and they really do look like they can get something done. So Tesla, it's from this point, it's really bullish. It can go down, of course, but I will just be buying more, and I will see where it's at 5 years from now, and I think it will be a very good position. Then I've Grab. Grab yesterday made a revenue of 764 million. That's an upside of 70% from last quarter in 2023. They have net revenue of 11 million. Then they have adjusted EBITDA of around 61 million, and on year. Then we also have total revenue for 2024 of 2.8 billion. That's grown 90% from last year. So they beat the expectations, and they were actually a very good it was actually a very good quarter, and I added a little bit of the stock because I was already talking about it a couple months ago. If we look at the channel, I was talking about it about a month and a half. So I am very bullish on it. I will also be holding it for a very long time, just like SoFi. And then we have AMD, where I also want to put out a separate video. I will not talk about it yet because I'm still looking into some things, and I'm not very sure about what they're going to do in the future. But in what they are doing now, it's just too much down. That's one big reason why I bought it right now. The valuation of the stock is too much down for what the company is actually worth. Just so, in my logical reasons, this is actually the other side of what I mean with Palantir. Palantir is too much up there, so I sell. AMD is too much down, so I buy. So yeah, that's what I mean with what I'm going to do with AMD. But in specific, the reasons why I bought AMD, I have a lot to talk about it, so I will be doing that in a separate video. But there's a lot going on, and I will probably be buying even more. So if you take AMD, SoFi, and Tesla, I will be holding those positions for the next 5 years minimum. Then we have Grab. I probably will be adding more, but I just want to look more into it and in how big the potential actually is. And yeah, so I want to look for that. And of course, Palantir, I also wanted to keep that for at least 5 years, but at this moment, it's just too much up there, and I wanted to take the profits and maybe start a new position when it gets down a little, because also I wanted to make some cash for some new positions where I'm also looking for, and I want to make a little revamp of the portfolio. So yeah, I thought it was a nice moment to sell Palantir. Because it was actually, with stock price at the valuation, I thought it would be in around 2 years. So yeah, it was too much up. So this was a little update for my portfolio. I hope you liked the update, and maybe you are something with it. And for now, sorry for the bad English, but I have to get back into it to improve it again. And yeah, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.